Okay, we are live now streaming on YouTube. So, Madam Chair, you want to open up the meeting?
Yes, I do, by saying thank you to everyone for coming to be with us this evening. Still under lockdown, stay safe. I wish I could be with you all, but not for us, not for now. Tonight we have two restaurants asking for liquor licenses and a report from our 6A precinct. Also with us right now is Matilda Frontis, our assemblywoman. Matilda, are you just joining us to say hello and to watch, or you want to say something?
Oh, I wanted to attend for as long as I can. I have a number of meetings tonight, all happening at 7, so that's my luck tonight. But I certainly wanted to stop by and greet everybody and just say thank you for the work that you're doing. I had a really, really great meeting with the 6-8 recently. I'm happy to see some of the officers there looking good. And we had a really informative meeting. And I just want to keep my ears open. I have some staffers on the call as well. I see my legislative director, Jacob Goldfinger, is here. We want to just make sure that we know what's happening in the community and keep our ears open to know what we can do with some of the issues going on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So with that, I will begin with the first store or establishment on the agenda. And it is a request for alteration of certification for liquor, beer, wine, and cider for Sam's Bakery LLC, doing business. I have it as Townhouse Lounge. Is it Townhouse?
It's Townhouse 275. That's the working name, but the official name on the liquor license is Townhouse Lounge.
Okay, and that's the way it'll stay for me. Okay. So this is an alteration of an application of the lounge located on 93rd Street. The owner, Robert Ziotti, who's right here, is taking over the adjacent. Did I touch something?
I think you did.
No, I did. I was trying to share my screen and I'm having a little bit of difficulty.
It's a very lovely background, though.
Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
Here I am now.
You back?
No, I'm not going to have to rejoin, I think. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we still see
We
you.
can hear you. We can see and hear you.
I have the open Zoom meeting screen. There we go. Okay. So the owner, Robert Ziotti, who is here with us tonight, is taking over the adjacent premises, formerly known as Kimchi Restaurant, on the corner of 3rd Avenue. It's located on 9324 3rd Avenue, and thus creating one large establishment. This application has the certificate of occupancy. A menu and photos were provided. There will be no use of outdoor dining, and there will only be background recorded music and occasional live jazz music. There is no adverse history associated with this owner. So I open this right now to the committee for any questions that we can ask Mr. Robert Ziotti, as you can see him here. Any questions?
Judith is trying to talk, but I think she's muted.
Yeah, can you unmute Judith? Judy, you're muted. Hold on.
Barbara, could I ask a question while Judith is working on her audio? You said that we don't have any adverse history for this location. Does the owner plan on having any type of music? Because that's usually problematic when there's music, and especially with amplified music.
I just read that he will only have background recorded music and occasional live jazz music, as he had before.
So if I may, the corner, which is going to be a restaurant, is going to probably have no music. So there's music in the bar. This isn't so much about the bar itself. The bar just plays recorded music overhead. Whoa. Okay. The bar has recorded music playing overhead in the bar, but the restaurant is just, I don't know quite yet, but if anything, it would have either similar or none. So I don't think there's going to be, we're not going to play like live music in there, and we're not going to play any more music than would be at the bar. As you can see, the picture of the bar's in the back, and the corner is what was Kimchi. And so, yeah, that's going to be just a full-fledged restaurant. That's not going to involve any of the stuff that the bar does. Now, let me speak to it is going to be one entity that's going to essentially be working and owning both places. I'm not like blowing out the wall, like the whole wall, and combining it and making one piece. I'm going to be putting, as you can see on the screen on the top in the back of the kitchen, I'm going to be putting like a little hole in the wall, like a window, so that we can put food to the back and drinks to the front. That's all I'm doing to quote unquote combine the spaces. If some of you don't know, that Kimchi in the middle of COVID closed after being there almost 20 years, 19 and a half years. And I mean, God bless them. They didn't miss rent 1 month in 20 years. And, God bless them. They were great people, really great family. And I just told them, look, just leave everything the way it is. Give me a couple of months to figure it out. Let me and the bank figure it out. And they did. And that's where we're at now. And, honestly, people came and tried to take advantage a little bit of the whole COVID situation, asking for like half the rent, trying to get bargain deals, trying to get this, trying to get that. No one's taken away my $9,000 mortgage. So I couldn't, that just didn't sit well with me. And I just financially couldn't do it. So I kind of bit the bullet and I said, you know what? I never have the opportunity to do this. 20 years, I'm under somebody else's lease. And my wife and I sat and thought long and hard and said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's do it. Let's combine it with the bar. It'll bring some more business to the bar that's off the avenue, and give it a cuisine that doesn't really exist in the neighborhood. And as far as we're concerned, as a primary cuisine, and that it gives us the best chance to be successful rather than just accepting rent every month. And it's our building. I'm the building owner, by the way. I'm not just renting.
Right.
So that's a big deal, by the way. I would never open a restaurant unless I either had a previously existing successful business or I own the building. So I wouldn't be a renter personally. So it worked out. So we had this one opportunity to do it, and that's what we're doing. So, and the other thing I wanted to mention, you said there won't be any outdoor seating. We are fully going to be taking advantage of the outdoor dining, New York City nightlife thing.
Right.
Probably not in the short term, probably next year. But honestly, if they didn't make the outdoor permanent, I don't think I would have done this. It's the COVID is too, it's too much of a moving target. And, I have no problem investing money, and it's a lot of money, by the way. I'm sure if anybody's ever opened up a restaurant, you'll know it. We're putting a lot of money into this. And if I didn't have that ability, I probably wouldn't have done this. So I will be using the sidewalk and street capabilities, which I've already applied for, by the way. And we were approved for the bar. I didn't do for the corner yet, but there's no reason the corner shouldn't get it as well.
Okay, so I'll just change that in my report.
Yeah. Also, if it helps at all, Kimchi before they paid for outdoor seating years ago, 2-3 years ago, anyway. So that was okay there, and they found it didn't help them much, so they let it go. And they also had a liquor license in the corner as well. So, and which they also did them anything for that didn't go well with Korean food or something. And they also let that go. So it does have an existing history of both outdoor seating and a liquor license. So we're not looking to get a new liquor license. We're just, by the good graces of the SLA, it's an extension into an adjacent property, which happens to be my property. So that is essentially the long and short of it.
Well, I think formally it goes down as an alteration of your original.
Correct. And more importantly than anything is it's free. So it didn't cost anything to do an alteration.
Anybody else from the committee who would like to ask some questions? Judy? There you go.
Yeah, she is.
Yes, thank you. I think Mr. Ziadi answered my question regarding food. And I, thank you. He certainly gave an elaborate explanation of his food service. So I appreciated that.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. So what happens is that we basically raise a motion that is in the negative. So how the committee works is that we say that the committee moves to deny this application unless the owner agrees to the following stipulations. And basically for this premises, it's pretty standard. Okay, so I'm going to move that we deny this application unless the owner agrees to the following stipulations. That the premises will continue to operate as a restaurant, that there will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premises until appropriate authorization is issued by the SLA, that the hours of operation, as you stated, will be Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., that the doors and windows are to remain closed in coordination with any amplified music, that there will only be recorded music and occasional live jazz music, that the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code, that there will be no use or music on the outside of the premises, that the licensee shall not use any promoter or have promoted events, that there will be no smoking permitted, and that the applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board and the committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. So, Mr. Ziotti, do you agree to those stipulations?
I do, except for one. It's not a disagreement. It's the bar already under normal non-COVID, non-emergency circumstances on Friday and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday closes at 12, 1, and 2. God knows when we'll get back to that, but the bar on its own, like we're not going to have people cooking till 12, 1, and 2 o'clock in the morning.
But your application, I believe, said 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
For the restaurant, yes.
Okay.
So the restaurant and the bar are kind of like are separate entities, although it's the same LLC that owns both of them. They both are operating kind of in one is a mixology cocktail bar, and one is going to be essentially a ramen noodle bar. And
Josephine, how do you work with this? Do they make a correction to the application that we had?
Yeah, so we have to formally, because it's an alteration application, actually consolidates the two uses to one license. So in the application, the license covers the both as one establishment. So then we would have to distinguish in the steps, that it has to be one time. It can't be time A for this and time B for this. So we'll have to, amend that application so we could amend the steps.
Okay, so is it just possible for me to? You guys brought up something that I didn't even think about. Maybe I should just make it till. They're not the same times every day. So I could, if we could
Most
just
restaurants are not.
Right. Oh, okay. So so then it would take on the hours. This is tricky because.
So your latest hour you're saying is 2 a.m.?
Yes. Well, none of them. We never open later than 2 a.m. with the bar. But the bar, it's a bar, so it kind of makes sense. Now, the interesting thing is the bar doesn't open till 6 p.m. But I think it has to start changing to 11. That's fine. Both of them at 11 is fine. I have no problem with that. But yes, like you said, most restaurants have different hours. It should take on the hours of 11 to 11, except for probably Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
All right. So I'll just write that down, and then Josephine, you'll discuss it with him that it'll be a reasonable hour.
Yeah. Can I think about it just for a little bit and then amend the thing? Okay. Let me just talk to my GM and talk to my wife and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. All right, Josephine.
Yep, that's fine.
Thanks for bringing that up. I didn't even think of it.
Okay, so for the committee, he has agreed to the stipulations and they will work on the Friday and Saturday. Do I have a second to this motion?
Second.
Okay.
Andy.
Okay, all in favor? Are we going to do a hand raise or are you going to do a roll call?
I think we could do a hand raise
Okay.
Yeah.
because I have everyone on one screen. Okay, very good.
Do a formal hand raise or a hand raise?
Now I see the hands all up. Thank you.
Did my hand
Okay.
count?
I can see you all. So it looks unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert. If you'd like, you can leave. You don't have to sit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And how do I follow up about the times?
You'll
I will email you or call you tomorrow, Robert.
That sounds great. Just for your thoughts, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's it.
Okay, great.
The other ones are fine.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Guys, I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Wait, we have a
Appreciate
question.
I hope on the new menu, you'll
Yeah.
consider continuing the wonderful kimchi yukayang soup. That was literally my favorite thing in Bay Ridge, and I'm so sad it's gone. So
You have though that soup. Are you talking about the devil's
Yukayang?
soup? What James used to call the devil's soup, the red one?
that's the one. There's
That's
nothing like it when you have a cold.
I found a Japanese chef already, so you'll be happy to know. I'll try my best.
Good luck.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Great. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, next on our agenda is a report from the 6A precinct. So take over, gentlemen.
Hi, how are you? Are we unmuted?
You are unmuted.
I missed the question.
So what maybe I should say by way of background is this item was added to the agenda following a resident who spoke in public session about concern about e-bikes and mopeds and motorized scooters riding during open, as we have restaurant seating outside, and there were several complaints from seniors who were frightened. Board member Dean Racina, who is here, I believe he commented at the meeting or sometime after the meeting that we should have the precinct come and give us some stats about enforcement, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Police Officer Mike Penapinto from the 6A. I do community affairs. I'm here with my partner, Frank. In regards to the e-bikes, they are almost legal. All right. I think in the next few weeks, they will be legal, like as bicycles are. They have to follow the same rules as bikes. I know there's a lot of them on the road right now, but they're almost essential. They're essential workers right now because they're doing food deliveries. They're essential right now. We are enforcing summonses. If they're on the sidewalk, they are being enforced. Okay, it's not like we're looking away, with a blind eye. They are being addressed. We did an initiative yesterday. We wrote 25 summonses to the e-bikes. We're going to do probably 1 or 2 a month initiative for these e-bikes because there is a big concern in the community. They do go pretty fast and they're quiet. You really don't hear them coming, but
On the sidewalk you're talking about, right? On the sidewalk.
sidewalk in the streets. Yeah. I'm saying they are a danger. They are. But like I said, they're legal. They're legalizing them. So they're not going to go away. There's going to probably be more of them on the road. But just let you guys know, we are enforcing it. It's not like, we don't take action. We are. Like I said, we did an initiative yesterday. 25 was written. We're going to continue enforcing this. They have to abide by all bike rules. They have to travel the same flow as traffic, wear helmets, yield to pedestrians, okay, when they're turning. So they still have to wear the light, like reflectors and lights. So these are all things we're going to enforce. I'm going to pass it to, we have our traffic officers here. Okay, they're actually writing these summonses. They're just going to go by what kind of enforcement we're doing. Okay.
Okay, great.
Hi, good evening. I'm Officer Eric Miller from the 6A Precinct Highway Safety Team. I'm one of the 4 officers that does the summons auto in this precinct. How's everybody doing? Have a good evening so far?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Likewise. I'll give you a breakdown of which enforcement we have, just to piggyback off of what Officer Pinto said. We did issue 25 new violations to e-bikes in the commands yesterday during the day 2 platoon on our operation. Pretty much we wrote 12 total. We wrote 9 traffic tickets for e-bikes not stopping for red lights. We wrote another 7 of them for being on the sidewalk. 4 of them for having too many riders, which sometimes you'll see them. They'll have a person sitting on the back or on the front, and it's not on the seat. Mm-hmm. That's too many riders. That's also illegal. It's not a traffic violation that we do issue summonses for. We have 1 for a bicycle rider found to go to lawful order, as well as another one for an e-bike found to get a right of way to a pedestrian with a walk signal. Fueling for driving down the wrong way in the wrong street. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much 2 pedestrians, 10 for red light, and 13 others. That's the other ones I broke down. But like the community affairs officer explained, we are out here enforcing them. They said they are going to be legal very soon. They are essential employees. Most of them do food deliveries, but we are active in operations and conducting a new enforcement occasions for the violations they commit.
So,
Okay, we have some questions, I think. Barbara, that you wanted.
Jill?
Jill, you have to unmute.
Yes, I'm off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah, you,
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious if they will be legal. Do they have to be registered? And if not, how are you enforcing the summonses that they're getting? How are they enforcing the payment of them? And if they don't pay, what, downfall of them not paying? Do they get their bike taken away? I mean, I'm
To
just
answer your question,
curious.
as far as them being registered, no, they don't have to be registered. Just like a regular bicycle does not have to be registered. There's no plates on bicycles. There wouldn't be plates on e-bikes. Therefore, they wouldn't be registered. As far as issuing a summons to them, we do have proper identification for them to issue them the summons, which therefore has an identification with information for their name. Once we submit that summons to New York State DMV, it creates in the database. And if they don't pay that, DMV can handle as far as like further enforcement. There's either issue a warrant to sending. It's the same as you stop in a car. They can issue a notice to the house for non-payment. Pretty much, yes.
Okay, so just one more question then. As far as not being registered, they aren't like a bike. They are a motorbike, and they do go quite fast. So why doesn't the city feel they need to be registered?
So what I would answer, maybe I can answer that question, is Jill, the city council has just recently passed legislation. So I think that's a legislative issue as far as their legalization. And on a state level too, I mean, there's new state and city regulations that have been passed, and maybe something our T&T committee could take a look at. Because right now the registration, I believe, is not required. So they're not required as a motor vehicle to be registered or licensed.
They're
I think that
they're considering an e-bike not to be classified the same as like a motorbike.
The microphone, officer.
I'm
You
sorry,
broke
Frank,
up.
could you repeat? Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
They're categorizing the e-bikes. They're not categorizing as the same as like a moped or a motorcycle. So it's kind of like a gray area. We understand because it is not mechanically powered. It's not like you're getting on there with a pedal and pedaling it. So basically they're just taking that and they're going to classify them same as bicycles, not as like a moped or a motorcycle. That's where that comes in.
I got a question.
Yeah, Chris?
Yeah, I just have a question. Does that include the bikes that look like Vespas? They're like the scooters that are electric. They don't have plates and they're riding around. The Uber Eats guys.
Yes.
So that's going to be
Anything that's
included.
electric. Yes.
Yeah, because I thought an e-bike had to be pedaled, like a moped.
Yeah.
there are some are pedaled and some are.
Right, some are pedaled and some are not. So, okay,
Only
thank
be
you.
classified as e-bikes.
Marty?
Hey, everyone. 2 questions. Under the new law, are there any throttle restrictions, or are all e-bikes going to be legal? Because I understand that they can be quite fast and powerful depending on how high the throttle goes. I'm sure I'm not using the correct terminology. And my second question is, it sounds like you officers have issued a good number of summonses. And is it your sense that the grounds for the summons is it a question of people not knowing the law, or is it a question of sort of willful disregard or being under pressure to get the food out fast from the restaurant? Or why are so many people getting summonses? I'm not questioning your issuing the summonses. I'm just wondering why people are doing things like going the wrong way on a one-way street, if you can even generalize about such diverse circumstances.
So question. So I'm Officer DuBois from 68. I'll answer that question. So up until fairly recently, they didn't have laws set in stone. So these guys were able to basically do whatever they wanted to do. So they're unaware that they have to follow. Like a lot of stuff that they're getting pulled over for, they're completely unaware that they can't do.
Yeah. Regular bicycle 2 months ago,
It again?
I was going to say,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, us talking is so hard on Zoom. I'm sorry. Go ahead, officer.
I'm just saying, most of these people were just on regular bikes up to a few months ago until they they realized that I could get further from A to B in this, e-bike. So they probably just assume it's the same regs as a bicycle, which they probably don't know the rules of a regular bike, So, but now they feel they get into their destination faster now with these bikes,
Sure. I mean, which makes sense given that everybody wants their food 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Is there
Yeah.
anything that you can suggest that would be useful, maybe coming from the community board as far as outreach goes and educating these e-bike riders about what's expected of them that would help both their safety and also the public safety? What
I
would
don't
you
know, we were
recommend?
actually talking about this earlier. There should be like a safety course, a biker safety course for a lot of these individuals that they don't know the rules of the road, So we have to come up, how do we issue these courses, Should it be, you put it on the register, like the restaurants that they have to instruct these, motorists? I don't know. I'm not sure how to get that out there.
Because I don't think it's limited to restaurants. I mean, we're seeing such an explosion in the use of, not only pedal assist, I would put in a different category, but the new scooters that are, very much recreational. And I don't think that's a bad idea or suggestion to have. It's because if they're not required to be licensing, they don't go through driver safety.
No.
And I think that's a really good, suggestion. I think it's not a bad idea because on my way here, there were two mopeds on a bike that didn't appear to be restaurants, and they were riding on the sidewalk, and it's very dark now. So I think, some education maybe is something we could tackle, Marty. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help with that. I mean, I just did some quick research on Google to see what the state of the law is, and it seemed very confusing and unclear. And so even if somebody riding one of these bikes wanted to know what the state of the law is and what their requirements were, it would be hard to know. I've seen little pamphlets, giveaway pamphlets on bicycle safety in many places, ranging from bike shops to court to restaurants. And so I don't know, maybe something like that is available that we could generate and make available to people so they understand that there are rules they're required to follow and how to learn more if they're interested in not getting summonses, which I assume they are.
And I mean, I would say our biggest, who we hear from a lot of our seniors, because they're so quiet and, really when you're on the sidewalk, the unsteadiness, there is concern. So we thank you for coming tonight and for sharing that. And I think that's something that we should work on as a board.
Thank you, everybody.
Ruth?
We have Ruth and then Sandy.
Yeah, I just want to add to that, when you look at the people who are delivering the food, these are the people who are making the least money around. And if they're going to be ticketed, it's really pretty sad. I'm sure that the restaurant owners are not absorbing those tickets. So, we want to educate them, but, ticketing is, could feel very punitive to them. But as far as educating is concerned, I would target the restaurant owners also for educating so they can pass on the information or the brochure that you're planning on doing to their delivery people.
Right. But I also think that the city has to maybe put something on the news, and hit also the small cable stations in different languages, because there are people who are not associated with restaurants. I mean, there are people around the corner, and this young woman, she rides her 5-year-old child on the back of her moped with no helmets in the dark. I mean, so there really has to be a lot of education about that. And I sometimes ride a bicycle, and I'm old now, but I know that you're supposed to go with the traffic. I think most people know they're supposed to go with the traffic, and they just don't. So, officers, whatever you can do to make this safer for all of us, the pedestrians, the bicyclists, and the cars, we thank you for that.
I have one question. Okay.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the thrush type mufflers that are going around the neighborhood at night. I know a few people on Shore Road were complaining about them. Have you guys done anything about that? Is there any laws about that? The loud mufflers, the car speeding, doing the donuts.
Yes. Yeah, regards to like Shore Road and these cars with these like aftermarket mufflers, we have issued summons for that. We've a few months ago we actually towed a few of the cars. Okay, they're popping. They sound like gunshots. We get a lot of complaints about these, but we are issuing summonses. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We have done a couple of initiatives with, our
1 second, Sandy.
surrounding precincts, the 6-2, the 6-6, and highway unit. So, and I know we are probably going to continue those going forward.
Right, I also remember from our last general meeting, I believe that Senator Gennaro said that the fines have gone from $100 to $1,000. And I think that begins in December. Is that correct? Remember hearing that, Josephine?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know when the start time is, but I do, when it kicks in, but that law was changed, which I think will be helpful.
Right. Sandy?
Yeah, going back to the motorized bicycles, I think from what I'm hearing, we're still in the infancy stages of this, and I think there's nothing more that the police department can do besides what they're doing now, and that's enforcement. But I think we need to maybe have a meeting with maybe our councilman to find out what's going on with at city council, because these motorized bicycles are not considered motor vehicles. They're not being registered. They don't have plates. What happens if there's an accident with a pedestrian and somebody gets hurt? What happens if these bicycles hits another vehicle and there's damage? There's no insurance. So I think I have more questions of the city council than I do of the 68 precinct at this point.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Jill, you have something to say?
No.
Can I just say
No,
something really quick? I'm sorry. Can I
Yes,
just say-
Michael.
No, I
Um,
just agree with Sandy, that's all.
You do?
I agree with Sandy, yes.
Oh, you agree. I thought you said you disagree.
I agree with Sandy
Agree.
that we should have a meeting with the city council, because my first question, involved the same issue. So, yeah.
Very good.
I
Okay,
wanted to add what Sandy said, I'm sorry, real quick, but if one of these e-bikes strikes a pedestrian or a car, we do handle it as a police accident report, just like we do two vehicles, so it does get reported. They can't leave the scene, they have to stay in the scene.
but there's no recovery for injury or personal damages and loss.
Well, I mean, it's
Right,
still,
because there wouldn't be insurance.
a civil suit, yeah,
Okay,
they don't have, insurance.
right. Okay. Are we good with this?
Thank you.
Officers, anything
Okay.
else?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, good to
Thanks,
see you.
guys.
Thank you for your
Thank
service, sir.
Take care, guys, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All four of you. Okay, let's move on with our next and last report. It is, where is Enzo? I saw Enzo. There he is. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Enzo. So now we have a request for a new application for liquor, right? Liquor, it's a full, all premise,
Yes.
okay? Liquor, beer, wine, and cider for Fravima Corporation, doing business as Bonacera Restaurant and Pizzeria. The premises is located at 6522 and 6524 11th Avenue. I'm just fixing my report here. This is a new application for this as a full restaurant. The owner, Vincenzo Triolo, is present with us. This application has the certificate of occupancy. Photos of the establishment are that, or which are still under repair. We don't have a menu as of yet, but this premise was formerly known as La Sorrentina Pizzeria
And a restaurant.
and restaurant. Now I see outside you have the structure for outdoor dining, and that's going to be permanent for you?
Until that we could be open full capacity.
Excuse me, say that again?
Until we open the restaurant with full capacity. Right now, we just do the regular stand that we could put on site.
Okay, so you're going to keep that on? You're not going to continue that after COVID is over?
No,
Okay. Okay, and there will be only background recorded music. There
correct.
is no adverse history associated with this address. And the owner is also an experienced restaurant owner with a restaurant named Sal's Family Pizzeria located at 384 Broome Street in Manhattan. As you can see, you have the pictures that I have right now. There's the man standing on the counter fixing.
Yeah, well, we just get what happened. We're doing it. We give them a fresh coat of paint to clean up, and nothing's going to be moved, from the old. We're just going to clean the whole place because it was shut down since COVID.
Right.
And we just give them a new fresh coat of paint, try to fix whatever needs to be fixed.
Perfect. All right. Anybody from the committee that would like to ask some questions? Any questions?
Yeah, Barbara.
Go, Sandy.
Well, I mean, this establishment has been around for quite some time. Josephine, I don't think I haven't heard any adverse history at all from this. So, right. I mean, I'm just happy to see that this establishment is opening back up, because it was very sad to see it go in the first place.
Yes, I agree. I agree with Sandy. I'm happy to see somebody transition into a new, like a new business. But I mean, it was a very well-maintained and well-run establishment. So I think this will bode well for the new owner and the community.
We appreciate that.
Anybody else from the committee? Okay, seeing there is none. As you saw before, Vinny, what we do is we send up a motion to deny the application under the pretense that you will agree to the following stipulations. And those stipulations are basically the same as the prior restaurant. I'm going to read them. So right now I'm going to present the motion to deny this application unless the owner agrees to the following stipulations: that the premises will operate as a restaurant. There will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premises until appropriate authorization is issued by the SLA. You two also have the hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The doors and windows are to remain closed in coordination with any amplified music. There will only be background recorded music, and the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be no use or music on the outside of the premises. The licensee shall not use any promoter or have promoted events. There will be no smoking permitted, and that the applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board and the committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. Do you agree to those stipulations?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do I have a second to this motion? Okay,
Ruth?
Ruth.
Yeah.
Give somebody else a chance. Great. Thank you, Ruth. All in favor?
It's unanimous.
Okay. So Enzo, Josephine will call you to sign off on the stipulations. Okay. And of course, you're welcome to join us at the meeting on Monday evening when we bring it in front of the board, but Josephine will contact you regarding the signature. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take
Hopefully
care.
we can see you for the dish of pasta.
I'm
Yes.
ready. I'm ready.
Lots of good luck with the restaurant.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
sir.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Anybody else have any other business you'd like to bring up this evening? Going once, twice?
Just need
All
a
right,
mo-
everyone. Thank you.
Barbara,
What?
how about a motion to adjourn?
There you
Go ahead,
go.
Sandy. Do we have a motion to adjourn? I guess we have that. All right, everybody. See you Monday evening.
Nice seeing everybody.
Have a good night.
Okay,
Thank
good
you.
night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.